Hello everyone, welcome to the video. And yes, I'm starting this video off by speaking in English. So I usually do live streams, but I'm gonna try making a video and I'm gonna try making it in English just to see how the numbers go. You know, if it's better if I do it in Malay, I'll do it in Malay. If it's better if I do it in English, I'll do it in English. And the reason why I'm doing it in English is because Homebois and Selangor Giants are very well-known teams in MPLMY. But the thing is, Homebois, they got a very new lineup, a very new roster, which for the Malaysian fans really are not confident with this lineup. But somehow, Homebois was able to take one game off of Selangor Giants. Selangor Giants still won the overall match, but Homebois still was able to get one game off of them. And Selangor Giants, they made some mistakes, sure, but it wasn't that big of a mistake. So we're gonna watch this game to see what really happened of why Homebois was able to take one game off of them. And we also have to talk about the draft here, right? I'm gonna finish off the draft. Let me just mute. Okay, let's finish off the draft. Now, here's the thing. Whenever we're talking about drafts, it's always very subjective, right? Because whenever we're talking about drafts, we have to consider what meta it is, like has the hero got buff, nerf, matchups, counters, and everything like that. So I'm gonna make it two angles to talk about the draft here. One, numerically, where we put value on every single hero. And then we're going to talk about it subjectively by saying like, yeah, it's a good lineup overall, but it's too heavy on the early game, too heavy on the late game, too heavy on magic damage, too heavy on physical damage, not enough crowd control, and everything like that. So I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible. If you guys have questions about it, you guys can leave in the comments, and then perhaps we can perfect the system. This is a new system just to have a system. So each hero, I'm going to assign a point. One hero can be 1, 2, or 3. And how we're going to look at this point system is that for each hero, we're looking at first pick, we're looking at second pick. We want to try to get as many value as we can. And the reason why I want to talk about that is because lately, at least for MPL Malaysia, second pick has been winning a lot of the matches compared to the first pick, which means that let's say pick number 1, you get a hero that has a value of 3. Most of the time, the second pick gets to have 2 heroes with the same value of 3. In a meta where there are not many 3 value heroes, first pick is going to be the priority. But in a meta where there's a lot of options, then second pick sounds a little bit more better, right? But we're gonna basically say hero that costs 1 are good heroes, are viable heroes. It's just that they only do one thing. Like they're only really good at late game. They're only really good at, I don't know, crowd control or something. And then 2, either you do the same thing as number 1, but you're so strong at it that it's like, yeah, what you gonna do? Or they give different values. For example, they give damage and crowd control. 3 is the super meta heroes where they can generally do quite a lot of things. I'm gonna give examples while doing this draft so that we can have a clear picture of what my idea of a point system is for the draft. And again, it's not perfect. This is the very first video I'm doing. You guys can give suggestions of how to make this point system more accurate, right? So anyways, I roughly remember the pick order for SRG and Homebois, so we're gonna break it down. Selangor Giants is gonna be the first pick, Homebois is gonna be the second pick. They first picked up Ling. In this meta, I would give Ling a value of 3, where you're very strong in the late game, a lot of DPS. You have ways to secure the lore in Turtle quite safely because you're in iframe during that moment, and essentially you're very hard to catch. And I would say the early and mid game can be very strong depending on the draft. S tier hero for this meta, I'm going to give a value of 3. And then for Homebois, they picked up Zask and Arlet. Here, I would say Zask, I would give a 3. Super meta hero, number 1, is very good going up against assassins because you can save yourself. And that gives options for your roamer to do something else instead of guarding you in the mid. The second thing is, it does quite a bit of damage. Number 3, the slow is almost a hard CC. So you got CC, you got damage, you got self-protection, top tier. 3 value here. Arlet, I would give a 2. You have damage, and you have ways to start the fight. You have crowd control, but that's more or less it. You're not the tankiest hero. You're not like a Phovius or a Hylos in this kind of meta. So right now we're looking at a trade where SRG start off with 3 and Homebois got 3 and a 2. So in this kind of trade, it does look like Homebois has a bit of an advantage, but we got to move on here, where if I am not mistaken, Terizla was the second pick alongside the Valentina. Terizla I would give a 2 as well. In the laning phase, does quite a bit of damage, but the real thing is about the setup as well as the tankiness. He has 2 points here to give him the number 2 spot or the number 2 value. Valentina, it really does depend on the draft, but in general, I would give her a 2, where she does decent damage, but the damage is not a big factor where I picked up the Valentina. It's really about the utility of the ult as well as the survivability. Actually, no, I take that back. The damage is there. I want to give Valentina a 3 because she's solid in every single meta, but just for the sake of argument, let's just say for this one, we're going to give her 2. In the comments, you guys can sound out if you guys feel like Valentina should be 3. I'm okay with giving her a 3, but for now, let's just give her a 2, right? So 3, 2, 2, so overall 7 points here for SRG. And then Homebois, they close it out with a Fanny, which I also kind of want to give a 3. In my heart, I want to give a 2, but the fact that Fanny is so strong in terms of the burst damage and the side lane control, and the fact that even if you do have lockdown heroes, it essentially is very difficult for you to really lock down a Fanny. The Fanny also, you guys can give your comments for all the heroes. You guys can give your comments about what is a 3 value, what is a 2 value. This is a system I want to build with you guys, but I digress. 2, 3, 2, 7 points here. 3, 3, 2, 8 points here for Homebois. And now we got to move on to the draft, where Slangerai Giants, they secured the Grok and the Beatrix. I would give Grok a 2. I would give Beatrix a 1. Beatrix is almost one-trick pony, where the late game 4 items Beatrix is very, very powerful. In the laning phase, she's fine. She's able to survive her big AoE with the Bandit's Rage, with the Nimiru's Passion. Gives a lot of AoE damage, but again, she's all about damage, so I'm gonna give her a 1. For Grok is a 2. You're very tanky, immune to crowd control, and your setups are insane, given the right player to use him. And now we're going for the Cho. Cho is strong, but I think it's a 1. Natan is strong, but I would also give a 1. Natan has a way to protect himself with the ult, and he has crowd control on his second skill, but I would kind of say Natan is a one-trick pony by being like super late game, high burst damage kind of hero. And the Cho does a lot, but I don't know if he does a lot to the point where he's like a 2. You can argue to give Cho a 2, but if you look at this game, Miles Cho is not the craziest Cho. Cho is one of those heroes where it really depends on the player, but Cho gives vision. Cho is very hard to catch. He can catch people, but blah, blah, blah. In perfect system, need your help. Now let's look in my point system here. So it's 1, 2, 2, 3, 2, so 5, and so 5. So this is basically a 10-point draft. For Homebois, 3, 6, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this is a 10-point draft as well. So when we're looking at just values, it does seem to even out. So both teams roughly have equal when it comes to the draft. Now we got to talk about how the draft really interacts with each other. SRG, they have 2 late game heroes here, Beatrix and Ling. This just means that their damage isn't going to be all that good in the early or mid stages of the game, if you're just looking at those 2 heroes in a vacuum. When you put in Grok and Valentina into the mix, where their mid lane pressure is very, very strong, and once Grok hits level 4, you have that wall charge where you have a lot of damage as well as insane crowd control, making it so that at that point your opponent's HP is like 40%. It's gonna be enough for Ling or any late game hero to get those kills, so it evens out. So I like SRG's draft is because they have late game, but they balance it out with their mid duo, making it so that they're not really in a bad position. Valentina going up against Zas. Zas is strong because of the Dominator's Descent, where you can go inside your ult and basically save yourself going up against an assassin. You're going up against a Fanny, so having the Zas ult is going to neutralize the advantage that the Zas has. So both mid laners are capable of protecting themselves. Now we're going to look at Homebois here. Very good late game with the Natan and very good early game with the Fanny. And the fact that you can control the side lanes with the Fanny as well gives extra points on the board. Zas here doing a lot for those neutral objectives, the turtle as well as the Lord. Turtle doesn't mean so much because you're using a Fanny. The Fanny isn't supposed to contest a lot of the objectives. If you fly by and then you retreat and you get the turtle, great. But if you don't, it really doesn't matter. The Fanny is really all about those kills. So Homebois, I like that they have a very well balanced when it comes to kills, objective secure, as well as late game damage. The only thing that I don't like is their tankiness. Arlet and Cho aren't really all that tanky, especially when you compare it to a lineup that has a Terizla and a Grok. So that's a bit of the problem here when it comes to the Homebois draft. It's very offensive, Arlet does a lot of damage, even Cho as a roamer does a lot of damage, but again, not enough tankiness. So that's my opinion on draft, and now let's jump straight into the game, where there are a few things where I do want to talk about here, right? So let's talk about what they want to do in the game. So junglers start off very easy. Here we can see the mid duo for Homebois actually does quite a bit of damage because Cho, compared to the Grok using the first skill does a lot of damage, and then after that is all basic attack. But Mal, with the Cho here, with the Jeet Kune Do, you're able to deal the 3 dashes that has damage as well as crowd control. So you're able to really zone out the enemy mid laner a little bit better. And this is the playstyle of Stormy as well as Yums. They want to try to get control of the mid, but having this Cho really neutralizes the advantage that they really want. Looking at Mal here, even though he took a little bit of damage, but the fact that he was able to damage Stormy enough makes it very good for Homebois. The fact that the Zas can deal damage from afar is great. Now, Slangoray Giants, they have a game plan here, right? So we're going to skip forward just a little bit just to show what their game plan is. All right. So at this point, something that we have to talk about. Zas is weakest when he's below level 4. Because once he's level 4, he can protect himself. Right now, he is level 3. So, Slangoray Giants has option A and option B. I have my own thoughts on this. You guys can let me know in the comments, what do you guys think is the better option here? So, Slangoray Giants, they have a Grok and they have a Valentina. Where Grok at level 4, Valentina at level 4, can do a lot of damage going up against Homebois, where the wild charge is going to be very impactful when it comes to the turtle. And when Stormy hits level 4, he can but he can take the Dominator's Descent from Udil or the Arlet's Final Slash, where you have another way to initiate the fight or just another way to do a little bit more damage. So the safer option, option A, is to just farm up relatively safely, get level 4 on both your mids, and then control the turtle, start controlling perhaps EXP or gold lane. Both are not so tanky, so you have the option of dealing a little bit more damage there. It's a slower way to approach the game, but it is a little bit of a safer way to approach the game. Option B is to be a little bit more aggressive. The one that's really going to give you problems in the turtle fight is the Zask. So pre-level 4, kill the Zask. And then once the Zask is out of the picture, it's going to be better for Slangoray Giants because Odil might, not saying he is, might be the shot caller for Homebois. And shot callers, if they're taken down relatively early, they might tilt, they might give bad decisions, and overall impacts the team a little bit badly. Which route do you guys think is better, A or B? And honestly, both routes are correct. If you're able to shut down the shot caller, they're going to have a bad game, and then at that point, the game is going to be pretty easy. If you go option A, it's a little bit safer, but you're not taking a lot of risk, right? So we're going to look at the play here. And we can see Amal goes for the mid as well, but Sakai's goes all the way to the back here. And honestly, Homebois, they didn't respond to this all that well. They made mistakes, right? So we're going to play this a little bit slower. Not a quality. The playback speed. Playback speed 0 to 5. So here you can see Amal going for the mid, doing a lot of damage. And then at this point, we see that Sakai's has options. He can go for Amal, the Fanny, or you guys can see Udil is all alone in the back. And we saw from the clip just now that he is going for Udil, especially because Udil is only level 3. He doesn't have a lot of ways to protect himself, right? Sakai's goes in with the ult, and look at this. Even Amal made a mistake. Sorry, not Amal, Mal, the Cho user. He is using the Cho, and he uses the third kick of the Jeet Kune Do, the knock-up, way too early. So it's not like he knocked Sakai's up inside of the turret, because look, he already used the knock-up. So there's no way for them to protect Udil. It takes one sword, takes another sword, takes another sword, but then the big game changer of why this is not okay. So Sakai's takes one turret shot, and at this point, Amal, look at that big chunk of damage. Amal uses ult, use the cutthroat to get Sakai's very, very low. So that's really the only reason why Homebois was winning this matchup, right? Udil had a slither of health. Sakai's tried to go for it, and then he took one more turret shot, and I think he got a basic attack from Mal as well, so he got taken down here. Is this really a mistake? Well, the thing is, they had a game plan, they tried to execute it, and Udil, look at the HP that Udil has, right? He almost died, right? He's 1 HP. If Amal was not there, he could have gotten the kill. The only reason he didn't get a kill is because Amal was there, and Amal did not use his cutthroat on Stormy. He used it on Skies. So that's one of those things where it's kind of a lucky situation. If Amal used his ult here to kill Stormy, he wouldn't have his ult here to kill Skies, and Skies would have gotten the kill, and then he would have lived. So is this really a mistake for Skies? I kind of don't think so. I kind of also feel like Amal didn't hold on to, like, I'm pretty sure Amal hold on to his ult because he felt like he could not get the kill, but he didn't intend to save the ult to kill Sakai's when Skies was trying to kill Udil. So this is one of those situations where it's just a matter of chance, right? So Homebois got a little bit lucky here, but again, a win's a win. So personally for me, I wouldn't say it's Sakai's mistake. Something avoidable because you have another option of how you want to play this match, but that's what they wanted to do. They executed as well as they could. They just couldn't foresee Amal bursting them down. Now we got to talk about how SRG planned this out quite well as well. They've already lost their jungler. So what they did was they tried to delay Amal, Homebois' jungler, and they want to make sure that this turtle is not secured by Homebois. Because that's the last thing you want, right? You don't want, once your jungler is down, the Amal here goes into the jungle of Sakai's or get the turtle. If you lose one, trade one, it's fine. But once the enemy gets 2 or 3, then that's a little bit too much. So this is very good from Yumes, as well as Stormy, as well as Cram, in ensuring that Homebois doesn't really get to do much. And here we can definitely see the game plan, where it's not planned for them to kill Udil. I'm pretty sure the plan is just to slow down Amal. But the fact that you see Udil here, and the fact that we see Cram did not hesitate, he went for the kill. In my mind, I could be wrong, 100%. But in my mind, that's the game plan. Take down Udil before level 4. Once level 4 comes, fair game. But before level 4, give it all you got, try to kill the guy. Right, Stormy finds him, Cram goes in, and Yumes was stuck between the wall. He couldn't do much. Udil gets killed, and then once that happens, everyone backed off. No one overstayed. Right, Amal couldn't get a kill, Innocent could sorry, Emma could get a kill, Stormy couldn't get a kill, Innocent couldn't get a kill, and this is where Slangray Giants they secured the turtle because and this is good. You can even look at the goal. It's back and forth, but Slangray Giants controls the goal quite well in this game. Right here we can see Homebois trying to get a, and again they're going for Udil. Udil is level 5, but they still want to go for him, and he almost gets taken down. And this is why I say it's hard to take down a Zask. Now we're gonna play this a little bit slowly. Now quality, playback speed 0.25. Right. So Emma went for it. Look at Cram and then look at Humes. Look how both of them are more than willing to use their flicker to get Udil. Cram flickers, uses his ult. Humes flickers here and then uses his ult, uses his wall charge, trying to get one guy, right? So goes for it. He gets the knock up onto Udil. Humes, okay, he ults and then flickers, but then the Dominator's Descent saved Udil. And this is why the Zask is very annoying, because it's not that he goes back with the moderate HP he has, because right now he's like 10% and this is full and he's dealing damage onto Stormy. This is why the Zask is very crucial in this current meta. He's very, very strong. And then they all piled onto him, but he was able to reposition the alien to go back into his turret, and then he's able to dash out of it. So again, this is just what we see that Slangray Giants, they want to take down Udil, and Udil can survive. Now you guys see here, Soul killed Skies. What happened? Well, this was off screen. So while they were fighting here, you guys cannot see it, but essentially what I saw from the minimap is that Skies went to the gold lane, tried to kill Soul. He dashed in and then used his ult. And then what Soul did is that he flickered backwards. And then once Sakai's got onto his sword, Soul used his second skill to crowd control him inside of the base. And then used his first, the first skill. Maybe he used his ult as well. Actually, no, he didn't use flicker. Sorry, he used Purify. So he ulted backwards. And then the second skill and then first skill. So there's a lot of damage. And then essentially Sakai's died to staying inside the turret for too long. So this is a mistake from Skies, right? Because you're Ling, you're 1v1ing the Nathan, and then you died. I'm gonna give this because we did not see it, and I'm just gonna trust Skies on this one. I would say Soul just outplayed him, and Skies died to the turret twice. Actually, when I say that, when Skies died to the turret twice, it's more in Sakai's mistake, where he's being overly ambitious, right? But it's neither here or there. Okay, now what I want you guys to look at is Soul, because he got that 1v1. It's very impressive. I'm gonna fast forward, but what I want you guys to see is where SRG is at and where Soul is at, because that's going to be very, very crucial to how Homebois won. Spoiler, Soul is able to always play away from Slangray Giant. So this could be from the coach, this could be from Soul's instinct, but look at this, not that fight, but look at the turtle timer. Right now it's 31 seconds. After he cleared the wave, it was roughly around 18 seconds, and he was already moving away from the turtle. Where compared to Slangray Giants, they want to, like, all five, maybe except Skies, let Skies take a bit of the jungle farm, or maybe even vertical jungle. They want to go around the turtle, because Innocent wants to be a part of the turtle fight as well. Soul doesn't want any part of it. So this is a very big difference between both gold laners here, where Innocent wants to join the fight and Soul wants no part of it. And we're going to look at the impact of that decision here. Right, so Soul clears it, Soul goes away. Soul goes away, and now Homebois and Slangray Giants, they're already trying to group up around the turtle here. So Soul gets mid lane, and then he immediately goes down to the bot lane. He already saw the link there, but he still went for it anyways. And then here we can definitely see Amal trying to get Innocent. And this is the good and bad, is that when you're a gold laner and you're staying close towards the neutral objective, in a meta where assassins are strong, you're prone to get ganked. And this is what happened to Innocent. Innocent did his best to try to stay alive for as long as he can. Homeboys used a lot of their skills, spells, blah, 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 just trying to get that one kill. Personally, for me, I would say it's kind of worth it because Innocent is a very strong gold laner, but all the while, Soul is free farming. Everyone from Slangry Giants is here. So it seems like Homeboys understands that Slangry Giants wants to contest the turtle, so it's like, we're gonna try to stop them. If we do, great. If we can't, at least slow them down while Soul gets free farm. And personally for me, I would say the fastest timing you can get 3 items, the Starlim Scythe, the Feather of Heaven, as well as the Holy Crystal, is 9 minutes. And that's with getting kills, getting like turtles and the, turrets and such. I would say average timing is around 11 minutes, could be 10 minutes something, 11 minutes extra, but it's roughly around 11 minutes. But the latest I would say for you to complete 3 items is 13 minutes. Keep that in mind. This is my own personal opinion based on the matches that I watch. I'm just counting averages. So if you're 9 minutes, you're very fast. If you're 13 minutes, you're slow. But we have to put into context if you're like heavily pressured or something that caused you to get that item a little bit late. So Soul is trying to farm out as fast as he can to try to make sure that he gets to the Holy Crystal in a timely fashion, right? So Slangry Giants gets a kill there, but once Amal comes through, he was able to get a kill as well. This really reminds me that Arlet does a lot of damage because at this point, Waff already has the... this is going to play normal speed here. Waff has Thunderbelt, and look at the damage when he goes onto Skies. Skies goes in, look, just a few dashes coming in from Waff, and he's already roughly at half HP. So in this fight, they got Udil, sure, but I feel like Waff dealt so much damage onto Skies that just... he was able to get the kill. Now, this looks great for SRG, but we're going to go back and we're going to look at Soul. He went from bottom to mid, get the minions, and then get the turret. You guys can imagine that's a lot of gold. Maybe not a lot of gold for the team, but a lot of gold individually for sure. Right? Look at the position from Soul. Look at the minimap. He's moving straight to mid. He has probably no intention of helping his team out. At this point, Innocent goes down to the bottom lane, trying to protect the lane. And then all the while they're fighting, and again, Skies died here. Skies died. Innocent tried to protect the mid. Even the Terizla is coming. But look at Soul. He secured it. Alright, so this very good for Homeboys. Slangry Giants got a few kills. I think they even got a turtle here, but yeah. This is not a turtle that Homeboys should be contesting. They have a Fanny, so it's all good. Homeboys is playing the macro game well. And here, look at the top lane here, right? So Homeboys, what they're doing is they're trying to get SRG away from Soul. That's just about it. It's like where the distraction come get us. In the bottom lane, you can see Soul and Amal both here. And they're both are pretty okay with getting some alone time with some farm, right? Amal tried to get a kill on the Skies, but spoiler, Amal secures the orange buff here. Right, he secures the orange buff, and Soul is just farming again. Soul is going to go to mid to get the farm there, while Amal secures another turret. So Homeboys is playing with SRG here, where they're essentially ignoring what it's trying to do, because it seems like Homeboys understands the priority of SRG and just playing away from it. So this is where fight I feel like it's not good for Homeboys, because the Holy Crystal is not built yet by Soul. So the damage is not going to be there. I mean, there is damage. Udil does damage as well. Amal does damage as well. But it's not the optimum time for them to really fight. If they pick off one person because they have a Cho, great. If they pick off one person because of the cutthroat coming from Amal, great. But you don't stay in the team fight for a long time. With this kind of draft, you want to get one kill, maybe two, and then back off. Once you have the damage per second, once you have the DPS, you can stay for a long time. It's fine. So Mal was able to get Stormy here, and Soul, he used his entropy to get into the bush, but I feel like the angle is a little bit odd. Gonna slow things down. Not this again. He's okay. Okay, gonna slow it down. So look at Mal. Mal was able to catch Stormy. Stormy was knocked up, and then Stormy was kicked. And you can see Innocent already throwing the Nibiru's Passion as well as Cram opening up the ult. Soul uses Entropy to check the bush, as well as if it's safe, he's gonna go in and he's gonna deal damage. But the thing is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 members of SRG is there, and they all have a lot of AoE damage and crowd control. So it's a good thing that Soul did not take the Entropy going in. But I feel like the distance between Soul and the first person here, I believe it's Cram, is at a weird angle. If it was closer somewhere here, then perhaps he could basic attack so that it can come from this angle and this angle. But because he's too far away, the basic attacks don't connect. So a lot of damage was a little bit wasted here. So Soul is not dealing damage, still not dealing damage. Amal goes in, kills Stormy. Only now Soul gets a little bit of hit onto Cram, but at this point it's not worth it to fight anymore. So Soul is not going to be participating in the fight so much. Right? Skies came, gets Waff, but again, it's fine. You don't want your Natan to die. This is where in Malay, I would call this kalah rugi menang tak untung, which basically means if you lose, you're at a loss, and if you win, you're not winning. Where you're fighting for nothing because there's no objective close to you for you to really translate off of it. Because even if you kill Selangor Giants here, great. But now what? Are you able to get a turtle? Are you able to get a turret? Are you able to get a lord? This is where you really want to decide, is it worth to take the fight? Because just killing them is a good ego boost, but it doesn't give you map pressure, especially when your draft is not about getting kills. If your draft is all about getting kills, 100% go for it. But if it's not, if it's about waiting for your items, pick off one or two, it's fine. You don't want to prolong team fight. So here, Homebois, they force a fight where I feel like they really should not have forced it. And Selangor Giants kind of punished them for this, as we're going to see. Because they got a kill onto Udil, and Skies, this time he's not going in. He's going to make sure if Cram can secure it, fine, go for it, man. I'm not gonna risk it anymore. So as you guys can see here, 7 minutes in, and Soul just completed his second item. So he's kind of on the way for that 9-minute mark, but he really needs to farm fast. But it doesn't look like he's going to hit 9 minutes. Now, another reason why Soul is a little bit late here is because he got the steel leg plates to survive going up against the Beatrix. But we're about to see that Soul, looking at this time, is actually still farming ridiculously fast, and we're about to see the third item choice here, which you guys can see. He's going for a Wind of Nature, so he is respecting Skies as well as Innocent to make sure he doesn't get one shot essentially. So here, Selangor Giants has better control over the Lord just because they have a better fighting chance here because of Stormy, right? I'm about to show that where if you guys checked here, Stormy has the Zask ult. So he has the Dominator's Descent. And why this is so strong for Stormy, he has Flicker as well. So just imagine this. He has 4 dashes to get into the fight. He has 4 gap closer. If you include the Flicker, he has 5. He can dash once. He can dash again. He can go inside the Dominator's Descent. And then after you're inside the Dominator's Descent, you can dash out again. So that's a lot of dashes. That's a lot of gap closer. So from a long distance, he can go in. Here, he can include a Flicker as well, and then he can go here. So that's a very long, very fast travel time. And why that's relevant is because while this whole Lord dance is going on, Stormy is just waiting for a target. Cram is zoning, Yums is zoning, Innocent is also just waiting. Look at Stormy, he's staying close to the wall, far away from any dangers of HO. They went in, and then Homebois, seeing the conceal, goes out. All good, clear mid, all together, not gonna get bursted down by the Fanny. And then soon the kinda not super mistake, because Soul can do this. It's just that something to learn when you're going up against a player like Stormy that has very good killer instinct, and he has 4 5 dashes, right? Okay, so here we can see Soul starting to leash the Lord as well. Now look at Soul, look at Stormy, as well as look at Cram. Soul gets knocked up, and at this point, I'm not sure who made the call. I'm pretty sure it's Cram. But then look at how Stormy follows up as well. Stormy dominates Descent, gets onto Soul, dashes out, gets Soul, double dashes in, and then kills Soul immediately. I rushed through it, breaking it down just a little bit slower here. The video is only 36 minutes. I can't stay here forever. But essentially, what happened is Slangoid Giants, they have the Grog, they have the Valentina, and they have the Terizla. Okay, Innocent as well. They have a lot of AoE. They have a lot of AoE control as well as damage, making it so that it's easier for them to hit the Lord and the opposing side as well. And Sakai is just so good at securing these objectives, especially as a Ling, where you can go into iframe and then use your Retribution. Where compared to Homebois, Fanny, you really just want to go in, retreat, and then get out. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Mal is not tanky, he can't frontline. Waf is not tanky, he can't frontline. The best that they can do is that Waf pulls everyone together. Udil as well as Soul does free damage. Maybe Mal is able to kick Stormy, Skies, or Innocent, especially because no one here is using Purify, right? So Homebois with the draft they don't have a good front line. They want to go for kills. They don't really want to go for Lord. In this situation, in Lord takes, it's easier for them to get a kill. Like even if they have good control, where Waf and Mal position here to catch someone, it's really about them catching someone first, killing them, and then get the Lord. So this is overall good decision by Slangoid Giants just to get the Lord, because Homeboy should not get this, especially because Soul gets taken out. Amal, understanding the situation, just grabs a turret. Now this is going to be very crucial. A lot of people are very down on Waf. He's a new EXP laner, but he did something cool here. So Yums sees Amal, gets ready to go in. Is it here? Oh yeah, it's here. It's here. Okay, so here Yums is able to lock down Amal, gets a kill, blah blah blah. But then look at this. I'm gonna immediately slow motion this one because this is pretty cool. So look at Skies using the ult, and then the moment he reaches for his sword, look what happens. He reached for his sword and he immediately gets final slashed inside of the turret, and then Homebois just went ham. If WAF did not do this, 100% Slanguage Giants could have ended the game. Not ended the game, sorry. Not 100%. They have a very good chance of getting more turrets and perhaps going and destroying 1 or 2 inhibitors. Now, at this point, Soul got the Holy Crystal. 12 minutes, 58 seconds. And this is not a 3-item Atan. This is a 4-item Atan. So I would say Soul is farming pretty fast here. Pretty fast. At roughly 30 minutes, getting 4 items is good. It's good. Or maybe my timing off. Maybe my timing is off. Maybe 30 minutes is the absolute norm of getting 4 items. But, you know, my rank games are different. But yeah, Soul now has the Holy Crystal. This is going to be a big game changer here. Now, this is the game-winning play. And it's going to come from Udil. Even though Udil is level 11, Stormy is level 13. So either Stormy knows Udil is in here, or Stormy wants to check the bush. So what Stormy did, he dashes in, sprayed the first skill, and then dashes out. Now, the thing that you have to see here is that Stormy currently does not have Udil's ult. I'm not so sure if Stormy got his ult here or not, but the thing about going up against the Valentina is that when the Valentina already used the double dash, that's your cue to go in. And Udil went in. Okay, I'm gonna slow things down just so that we see everything that happens here. So Stormy dashes back. Udil is able to stun Stormy down, and then immediately goes to Dominator's Descent, and then dealing a lot more damage. And then here, Mal followed up as well. Stormy is able to flicker out of it, but Mal saved his flicker. He went for it and got Stormy. This is a big game changer because now you don't have that incredible long range all-in damage that he has when he takes the Dominator's Descent. And now Soul can essentially free hit. Skies is down as well. Forgot to mention that. Cram tries to fix the situation. But look at Soul. Soul at this point just deals a lot of damage. And then WAF, he only has 2 good final slashes. But those 2 really help Homebois secure the game. So here, WAF gets into position, and he was able to get Innocent. At this point, Amal, honestly very impressive, he's able to change his cable angles and gets onto Innocent and then killing Innocent. And at this point, even though Innocent used the Wind of Nature, but Soul does magic damage, so it really doesn't matter. And at this point, Homebois is able to control the Lord, and now even Udil has the Holy Crystal. And the damage that Soul deals is just a little bit too much. There's not much that Skies can do. Like you can see here, Soul is zoning out Yumes, even trying to zone out Skies. Soul still has his Wind of Nature, so he's A-okay at actually fighting here. And look at Skies. Skies is taking way too much damage, and Homebois is able to secure the Lord. At this point, it's essentially GG. I would say Yumes is making a mistake here, like not out of position, but what's coming up is that he tried to all in onto Mal. Like Homebois, Mal opened the map, Yumes all in him. Even Cram goes in, even Innocent goes in. All the skills here, and Mal just simply dashes out. And look at Soul's damage. He's almost able to take down Cram. So I would say that's also a game-winning mistake coming in from SRG, where even Stormy used the final slash trying to get one person. Tried to get Udil, and Udil purified out of that, and then got out of it. So it looked like Slanguage Giants, they panicked a little bit. They tried to do anything that they can to maybe make Homebois go back, right? Like scare them enough so that they go for the fight. Oh, I actually didn't saw this. This is good from Udil. Damn. Look at this. Look at Udil. Look at Innocent. Innocent was sniping Udil, and as the shot is coming, look at that. As the shot is coming in, Oh! Dude! I didn't notice this. How do I frame by frame this? But you guys see, right? Snipe goes in as soon as it almost hits Udil. Oh, that's so cool. Maybe he did it on purpose, maybe he didn't, but overall, it's still cool. Skies is trying to cut the mid lane wave. Mal is waiting. Look at Mal. He's just waiting by the like again. He's positioning himself here because he knows that this is the jumping points, and then he's just gonna get ready to kick him. Right? Mal waits for it, waits for it, waits for it. Doesn't come. Now he's gonna come. Da, 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 da. And then look at Mal. As soon as Skies goes in, Amal was the first one to see Skies. Soul Entropy's back. But look at Mal, dashes in, kicks Skies. And then that's GG. That's game. Right? So there we go. Gets the kill onto Skies, and then essentially ends the game. And that is how Homebois is able to defeat, well, take one game off of Selangor Red Giants. But yeah, what do you guys think? I'm this is like 46 minutes. I'm so sorry this this video is a little bit long. It's something that I want to try. If the video does well, I might do more. If the video doesn't do well, I'm not gonna do more of it. Trying out in English. If it doesn't do well, I'm gonna go back to VM, and yeah, we'll see. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, do comment down below. Give me a like as well as subscribe. So thank you very much. See you guys in the next video.